So do one thing that you have to observe those video lectures which are on the LMS for practical purpose. Okay, you can observe, go through the with theory lectures also, but for the practical you need to only observe the video and complete the write of work. Okay, there is no reading, no performance. Okay, only you have to observe the video lecture and write down that what you observe in that video lectures in detail. So now today we are going to discuss the working of your hydroelectric power plant. लास्ट टाइमला आपण हायड्रोइलेक्ट्रिक पॉवर प्लांट थर्मल पॉवर प्लांटचं हे केलं होतं. सो वी आर गोइंग टू जस्ट गो इन डिटेल that what are the various parts of the thermal power plants and how it will works exactly. Okay, so we will discuss about the coal based thermal power plant. In coal based thermal power plant, the first thing, okay, so this is the basic block diagram of coal based thermal power plant. This is first thing. Okay, basically what happened, there are coal mines. In somewhere my coal mines are there. In the coal mine we are going to digging inside the earth surface and we are going to extract the coal. Okay, basically these coal mines are located at certain remote areas. So what you are going to do, we need to just transport that coals to the power generating station. So many times you have seen that there are trains in which so goods trains are there. In the goods trains you can see a lot of coal is going to be transported from one location to another location. This coal will transported from coal mine towards the power plant. So nearby power plant to us is Eklehre, Nasik. At Nasik we have the coal based thermal power plant. Okay, and that Eklehre, Nasik we have thermal power plant which is based on the coal. But if you are going to observe, near Nasik there is no coal mine, so all the coal is going to be transported from the different parts of the country, or sometimes you are going to import the coal from Australia and other countries also, and we are going to use that coal for burning purpose. Now basically what happened, for the working of my thermal power plant I required a huge quantity of coal. Okay, माझा पॉवर प्लांट जो आहे त्याला वर्क करण्याकरता मला आहे ना thousands of tons मध्ये कोल लागतो पर डे. So what you are going to do, we need to just do the storage of the coal. So the first unit in any thermal power plant is the coal storage. कोल स्टोरेज मध्ये काय होणार आहे, मग आपण जो कोल आहे ना कोल माइन पडनं ट्रान्सपोर्ट करून आणलेलं आहे. इज देयर एनीवन हु इज फ्रॉम बिहार और एनीवन? ऑल ऑफ यू अंडरस्टैंड द मराठी लैंग्वेज और शैल आई स्पीक इन हिंदी? साईराज, विनीत, am I audible to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Mahesh Chorge. Okay, no problem. So instead of Marathi, meanwhile I am going to use Hindi also. So basically what happened, when you are going to transport the coal from the coal mines, so we need to store that coal. Now what is the purpose of storing of the coal? If there is certain problem, कभी कभी क्या हो जाता है, हम लोग कोल ट्रांसपोर्ट करते हैं तो ट्रांसपोर्टेशन में प्रॉब्लम आ सकता है. देयर में बी सम एक्सीडेंट और देयर में बी सम बिकॉज ऑफ एनी रीज़न माई ट्रांसपोर्टेशन में गेट डिसकनेक्टेड, मेरा ट्रांसपोर्टेशन प्रॉपर से हो नहीं पाता है, तो अननेसेसरी इट इज़ गोइंग टू बी डिलेड. ओके, जैसे आप देखते हैं कि बारिश चालू है, बारिश की वजह से बहुत बार है ना नदी वगैरह जो आती है उसको बाढ़ आ जाती है. तो बाढ़ आने की वजह से क्या होता है कि आपका ट्रांसपोर्टेशन बंद हो जाता है. अगर जो ब्रिज है, ब्रिज के ऊपर से पानी रहा या फिर कुछ एरिया में आपको ट्रांसपोर्टेशन के प्रॉब्लम आ गई, सो इट इज़ नॉट पॉसिबल टू रीच योर से शिपमेंट ऑन टाइम टू द डेस्टिनेशन. सो फॉर दैट पर्पज आई नीड टू स्टोर सर्टन अमाउंट ऑफ कोल. आप घर पे भी देखते हैं कि घर पे आप अनाज वगैरह स्टोर करके रखते हैं. क्यों स्टोर करके रखते हैं? क्योंकि इन केस ऑफ इमरजेंसी यू आर नॉट गोइंग टू द शॉप एंड यू आर गोइंग टू जस्ट टेक दैट मटेरियल. सो अगर रात में आपको ज़रूरत पड़ती है या फिर कभी छुट्टी है, दुकान बंद है, उस टाइम पे आप जाते हैं तो दुकान बंद होने की वजह से आपको मटेरियल नहीं ला सकते, इसलिए थोड़ा सा अपन घर पे स्टोर करके भी रखते हैं. सो इसी वजह से हम लोग कोल एट द कोल बेस्ड थर्मल पावर प्लांट पे थोड़ा सा अमाउंट में स्टोर करके रखते हैं. नॉर्मली दिस स्टॉक इज़ नियरली 15 डेज. 15 दिन के लिए जो स्टॉक लगने वाला है, ओके, 7 से 15 दिन के लिए, 7 to 15 days we are going to store the coal which last for 7 to 15 days. Okay, so in case of emergency it will act as a backup for this one. Then next one is that, so what type of coal I am getting? So if you are going to see in the coal mine, there are large block of coals. Okay, the size of these coals may be 10 kg to 200 to 500 kg. Okay, so these are the blocks. Basically you are going to see it is just like a black rocks. Okay, so I cannot directly burn this coal. So for burning purpose, what you are going to do, we need to cut this coal into the small pieces. Okay, ये कोल को हमें छोटे छोटे पीस में कन्वर्ट करना है, कट करना है. Okay, and for that purpose what you are going to do, we are going to crush it, and for that purpose there is a coal handling plant. In the coal handling plants, what there are such type of steel balls. Okay, so there are three such type of steel balls and you are going to put the coal in between. So what happen, as the steel ball will rotate, the coal is going to be grind in between. It is just like a flour mill. Okay, जैसे आप देखते हैं कि फ्लोर मिल जो रहती है उसमें आप लोग गेहूँ वगैरह ले जाते हैं और गेहूँ उसमें डालने के बाद में उसका पाउडर बन के आता है. ओके, दैट इज कॉल्ड एज द आटा. So in the same manner, if I am going to put the whole coal inside the boiler, it will not burn properly. Okay, so for that purpose what you are going to do, we need to just grind that coal, we need to convert that coal into the fine powder so that my burning should be proper one. Okay, so in the coal handling plant we are going to burn that coal. ओके, सो आपने कोल बर्न करने के कोल हैंडलिंग प्लांट में क्या करेंगे, हम लोग कोल को है ना पाउडर में कन्वर्ट कर देंगे, पाउडर फॉर्म में. ओके, सो यहाँ पे क्या होगा, यहाँ पे अपन कोल स्टोर करके लिखते हैं 7 to 15 days वी आर गोइंग टू स्टोर द कोल. In the second case, what you are going to do, so this is basically a coal handling plant. If you are going to see how the coal handling plant looks like, in the last election we have already discussed in this last session that the size of thermal power plant, the thermal power plant may spread in hundreds of acres. Okay, so the size of the thermal power plant is hundreds of acres, and out of this most of the time most of the space is consumed by your storage, coal handling plant and ash handling plant only. So you can see over here, so such type of say trains are coming over here, and we are going to just empty those trains wagons over here, and then we are going to transport those coal with the help of conveyor system. These are the conveyor system. These are your conveyor system through which my coal is going to be transported from one location to another location. Now why we are going to use the conveyor system? Because if it is going to be do manually, it will take a lot of time and it will take a lot of human labors also, and it is a 24/7 process. My generator will work for 24/7. Okay, you are not going to stop the generator in between. Why? Because if the generator is stopped, it will require if the power plant will stop, it will require minimum for 24 to 48 hours, sometimes 72 hours also for starting purpose. Okay, so we are going to continuously supply the coal to this one. Okay, and for that purpose we are going to use the conveyor system, and the quantity of coal required is very high. Okay, huge quantity coal is required, so continuously you are going to just put that coal over here. This coal is going to be transported like this one. Okay, so from this location, so from this location it is going to be transported here, it is going to be crushed, and here it is going to be converted into the fine powder, and then again it is going to be transported to the boiler section. So basically what the coal handling plant will do, the coal is transported to the power station by road or rails and is stored in the coal storage plant. Okay, from the coal storage plant the coal is delivered to the coal handling plant where it is pulverized. Remember, this word is very important over here. Sometimes in the interview they are going to ask you what is meant by the pulverization and why you are going to pulverize the coal, what is the purpose behind it. So basically pulverization means you are going to crush the coals into the small pieces, or you are going to crush the coal into the powder form. So why it is required? Because it will increases the rapid combustion. Okay, so when you are going to break that coal rocks into the small pieces, or you are going to convert into the powder like form, so it will be easily burn, its combustion will be easy, it will rapidly burn without using excess air, large quantity of the excess air. Okay, जैसे आप देखते हैं घर में आप जब चूल्हा वगैरह चलाते हैं उस टाइम पे क्या करते हैं, आप छोटी छोटी लकड़ियाँ पहले डालते हैं और वो जलने के बाद में उसमें थोड़ा ये करते. इफ़ यू आर गोइंग टू जस्ट पुट अ लार्ज वुडन blocks over there, they cannot be directly burned. Okay, so what you are going to do, we are going to just first take the small wooden say blocks, and then we are going to burn it. Okay, so in the same manner what I am going to do, if I want to burn the coal, initially I need to convert that coal into the small powder form, okay, small pieces, so that it can be easily burned. My combustion should be proper and it does not require any excess air. The pulverized coal is fed to the boiler by belt conveyor. So now how you are going to just put that coal into the boiler. So this pulverized coal is fed to the boiler by means of belt conveyor. Here you can see over here, okay, so these are the belt conveyor. Okay, so after pulverization, this coal, small pieces of the coal is going to be sent to the boiler. Okay, so the pulverized coal is fed to the boiler by belt conveyor. The coal is burned into the boiler and ash produced after complete combustion of the coal is removed to the ash handling plant. Okay, so basically here, first T step, this is my first, this one is my second. So in first I am going to store the coal so that I can get the continuous supply of the coal for running my thermal power plant. Okay, in second I am going to convert that coal into the small pieces. Okay, so here the pulverization is going to be takes place. Then after pulverizing, we are going to send that coal to the boiler. Here actual the combustion inside the boiler, actual combustion of the coal is going to be takes place. ओके, बॉयलरमध्ये काय होणार आहे, तुमचा कोळसा त्याच्यामध्ये जळणार आहे. आपका जो कोयला आहे दॅट इज गोइंग टू बी बर्न इनसाइड द बॉयलर. ओके, बट if I want to burn anything, what is the three things required for burning purpose, or what are the minimum things that can be required for the burning purpose? अगर मुझे किसी चीज़ को जलाना है तो उसके लिए क्या क्या लगने वाला है? If I want to burn something, what are the minimum things that I want? First is the fuel, and here fuel is my coal. Okay, so if I want to burn something, I require the fuel. Okay, और यहाँ पे fuel क्या हो गई हमारी? कोल. कोयला जो है वो फ्यूल हो गई, लेकिन उसके लिए एक सबसे ज़रूरी चीज़ है, विदाउट दैट द बर्निंग इज़ नॉट पॉसिबल. सो व्हाट इज़ द नेम ऑफ दैट थिंग? अभिषेक, अभिजीत, अक्षय, हर्षदा, नीलेश, निशा, मीता, पूर्णिमा, प्रसाद, साईराज, विनीत, यश. व्हाट इज़ रिक्वायर्ड फॉर द बर्निंग पर्पज? What is required for the burning purpose? O2, oxygen is required. Okay, without oxygen the burning does not takes place. So inside, and where is the oxygen? Okay, we don't have the separate oxygen cylinder just like we are going to use for the COVID patient. अपने पास वो बॉयलर के लिए सेपरेट ऑक्सीजन सिलेंडर वगैरह नहीं, एंड दैट इज नॉट इकोनॉमिकल फॉर मी ऑल्सो. सो इंस्टेड ऑफ दैट व्हाट आई एम गोइंग टू यूज, वी नो दैट देयर आर अ लॉट ऑफ oxygen in the air. So what you are going to do, we are going to put some air over here. Okay, so this air consists of oxygen which is essential for the burning purpose. Okay, so along with coal, so inside the boiler what is there? Inside the boiler there is coal plus oxygen. Okay, or you can say air. Air is required for burning of the coal. Without air my burning action does not takes place. So when coal is there, oxygen is there, and ignition is there. Okay, so ignition takes place just by putting certain say we are going to just use certain flame or something. Okay, so ignition, we can assume that already ignition was takes place, so this will result into the heat. Okay, so when coal and oxygen is there, it will burn. Okay, so when it will burn, it will produces the heat. Now what to do with that heat? Why I require the heat over here? Because I require the heat to increase the temperature of the water. I want to generate the steam inside the boiler. The function of boiler is to generate the steam. What is the function of boiler? The function of boiler is to generate steam. Okay, so I want to generate the steam, and how the steam is generated? Now the steam generated, say I have the water over here. All of you have done that experiment in the simple, say I think most of you have prepare the tea in your home. Okay, or at least you have observed that how to prepare the tea. So basically what we are going to do, we are going to take some say water, we are going to add some milk, we are going to add some say sugar and tea powder, and then we are going to give the heat. Okay, so is there anyone who has seen that we are does not produce, say simply we are going to add the water, cold water, okay, milk, okay, that milk is also cold one, then sugar and tea, we are going to mix it and directly say drink it. Okay, so such type tea is not going to be prepared. For the preparation of the tea, what is required? We need to increase the temperature of that water so that the tea powder is going to be dissolved properly. Okay, the extract of the tea powder is going to be mixed with the, say, your water. Okay, so basically I want to provide the heat. So when heat is there, at that time the water start boiling. Okay, and when the water is boil, you are seeing that we can see the vapors. Okay, if you are going to properly observe, when the water is going to boil, at that time you can see the vapors are coming out of the pot. Okay, in the same manner, when I will increase the temperature of any say liquid, that liquid is going to be converted into the vapor. Now here also in boiler, what you are going to do, we are going to increase the temperature of the water, so that water is going to be converted into the vapor. So incoming to this boiler is water. Okay, and what is the output of the boiler is vapor. Okay, now there is a difference between vapor and steam. So vapor has say moisture, large moisture content. Okay, vapor has large moisture content, and I don't require the moisture inside the steam, inside that one. So when I want to remove the moisture from the vapor, that becomes steam. Okay, so when I will remove the moisture from that vapor, that becomes steam over here. And that actually this process is going to be takes place inside the boiler only. So as there is a excessive temperature, the temperature of the boiler is nearly 300 degrees centigrade. Okay, 150 degrees centigrade to 300 degrees centigrade, that is the temperature you can get inside the boiler. So with that temperature, we can easily convert water into the vapors, and that vapors are again going to be converted into the steams. Okay, so we are going to remove the moisture, but I need, say, more say temperature of the steam. So basically what you are going to do, we are going to again heat that vapors, heat that steam, and that steam becomes superheated steam. Superheated steam. So now how to heat that one? So basically when this coal and oxygen will say, when my coal is going to be burned, at that time after burning of the coal, you are seeing certain some sort of smoke is going to be released into the atmosphere. Okay, so in your home also, when you are going to burn the wood or you are going to burn something, so we can observe that the smoke is going to be released. What is that smoke? Smoke is nothing but different mixture of gases. Okay, these gases are called as the flue gases. These gases may contain carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, sulfur dioxide, sulfur, and all these things. So these gases have a high temperature, and these few gases are going to be released into the atmosphere. But if I am going to directly release these few gases into the atmosphere, these gases have a high temperature. So thermal efficiency of the boiler or the thermal efficiency of my power plant will go on decreasing. So instead of releasing these few gases directly through the chimney into the atmosphere, I can extract the heat of these few gases in 3 stages. One is called as the superheater. In superheater, what you are going to do? We are going to increase the temperature of this steam, and we are going to convert that steam into the superheater steam. So basically the temperature before the superheater is nearly 150 to 300 degrees centigrade, and after superheater the temperature of the superheater steam may reaches up to 500 degrees centigrade. Okay, so here, and how it will reaches to that? Because of these few gases. Okay, so the heat of that few gases is going to be extracted into the superheater. Okay, and my, if say temperature of that steam is going to be increased up to 500 degree centigrade. Then again these gases have certain temperature, so we are going to again just pass through these gases through the economizer. Now what is this economizer? Economizer is a device which can be used to increase the temperature of the water which is fed to the boiler. So initially the temperature of water is nearly 30 degrees centigrade. Okay, and if I am going to put that 30 degrees centigrade temperature water into the boiler, I require more amount of energy to increase the temperature of that water. So what I will do, I will just pass that water through the economizer, and with the help of these few gases the temperature up to 40 degrees centigrade can be achieved. Okay, because we know that heat can be transferred by conduction, convection, and radiation. Okay, so these few gases heat can be absorbed by the water which is flowing through the economizer. ये जो economizer है, इसके अंदर से जो पानी बहने वाला है वो क्या करने वाला है, उसका टेम्परेचर कम है, और उसके बाजू में से जो गैसेज जा रहे हैं उनका टेम्परेचर ज़्यादा है. सो दैट विल extract the heat of this outside few gases. Okay, and then that is going to be fed to the boiler. So here also my thermal efficiency is gone increasing. And next again I am going to just pass these gases, few gases, through the air preheater. So air preheater is a third stage device. So basically for the burning purpose I required what? I required oxygen. Okay, and that oxygen is supplied by the air, surrounding air. So but how that air is going to be fed to the boiler, because boiler is a closed thing. So what I am going to do, I am going to use a large draft fan over here. Okay, so this fan will take the air from the surrounding. Okay, so they will just collect the air from the surrounding. Okay, and then they will just force the air into the boiler. Now the surrounding air temperature is your atmospheric temperature. So my atmospheric temperature may be 20 degrees centigrade, maybe 30 degrees centigrade, maybe 35 degrees centigrade, or maybe 40 degrees centigrade, depending on the climate. Okay, depending on my season. If you are going to go through say your monsoon, at that during monsoon the temperature may be as low as 20 degrees centigrade, and during summer the temperature may be as high as 40 to 45 degrees centigrade also. So the air temperature also gone increase. And during monsoon what happen, my air has a lot of moisture. Okay, and if I am going to put the moisturized air into the boiler, the proper combustion does not take place. So what I have to do, I have to remove the moisture from the air, and for that purpose I have to pass the air through the few gases. Okay, so this air preheater, when my air is going through this air preheater is surrounded by these few gases. Okay, so these gases will extract the heat. Okay, the heat of these gases can be extracted by the air, and the temperature of the air is gone increasing. And here the temperature of the air may be 30 to 40 degrees centigrade, depending on your conditions, seasonal variations and all these things. So it may be 30 to 40 degrees centigrade, and that air is going to be supplied to the boiler. Okay, so what happened now, my air is a pure air, it does not contain moisture. Second thing is that my water is at higher temperature as compared to the atmospheric temperature. So definitely because of these two, my thermal efficiency go on increasing, the thermal efficiency of the boiler go on increasing. And with this superheater, the thermal efficiency of the overall thermal power plant go on increasing. Okay, now after superheater, what you are going to do, so these few gases are going to be released. First these few gases pass through superheater, then economizer, then air preheater, and then they are going to be released into the atmosphere through chimney. I think all of you have seen the chimney. In front of our college there is a sugar factory, and in that sugar factory you can see two large chimneys are there, tall chimneys are there, through which the gases are going to be released at the higher level into the atmosphere. Okay, so basically why we are going to release these gases into the atmosphere, because these gases may consist of carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, sulfur dioxide. Okay, and if they are going to be released at the bottom level, the resident who are living in the nearby area may just suffer from certain respiratory diseases. So we are going to release it at certain height into the atmosphere. Okay, so is it clear up to this? Is there any difficulty up to this point? Is there any difficulty आतापर्यंत जे आपण डिस्कस केले ते लक्षात?
नो सर.
ओके, तुम्हाला आतापर्यंतचं लक्षात आलेलं आहे आपण काय काय डिस्कस केलं आहे? निशा, निलेश, मीता, महेश, हर्षदा, अश्विनी, अक्षय, अभिषेक, प्रणव.
Yes, sir.
ओके, ओनली वन पर्सन इज रिप्लाइंग. व्हॉट अबाउट द अदर्स?
Yes, sir.
ओके, कारण आता सकाळी 10 वाजलेले आहे, झोप निघून गेली असेल बऱ्याचपैकी. ओके, सो नाउ व्हॉट नेक्स्ट? Now once my steam is generated, what is the next thing that we are going to takes place over here? So once the steam is generated, now here I will get the steam at the temperature of 500 degrees centigrade, nearly up to 500 degree centigrade. Now there is a wall. Okay, this steam is going to be given to the turbine. Okay, so this is my turbine, which this turbine, so basically what happened, a turbine, I will just show you one turbine how it looks like. So this is basically a boiler. So first part we have already discussed, this is the coal handling plant. Then second is the steam generating plant. So steam generating plants, we require the boiler. The steam generating plant consists of a boiler for the production of steam, other auxiliary equipment for the utilization of few gases. What are these other auxiliary equipment? Will anybody please tell me the names of these other auxiliary equipment that just we have discussed? Okay, what are the names of the yes?
Air preheater.
Air preheater, yes. Second?
Economizer.
Superheater.
Economizer.
Okay, so these are the auxiliary equipments which can be used to increase the thermal efficiency of my overall thermal power plant. Okay, out of this, air preheater and the economizer will increase the thermal efficiency of the boiler, and the superheater will increase the overall thermal efficiency of my generating plant over here. Now this boiler, what is the boiler? So boiler is The heat of combustion of coal in the boiler is utilized to convert the water into steam at high temperature and pressure. So basically inside the boiler what is going to be takes place? So inside the boiler we are going to burn the coal. The combustion of coal will take place inside the boiler, and the heat of that combustion can be used to convert water into steam. Okay, so my water is there, so water is going to be converted into steam. So where it is going to be converted? It is going to be converted into the boiler. Okay, so and I will get temperature as well as pressure at high temperature as well as pressure. The few gases from the boiler makes their journey through superheater, economizer and air preheater, and are finally exhausted to the atmosphere through chimney. Okay, now what is the role of superheater over here? The superheater, the steam produced in the boiler is wet. Okay, so basically what happened, whatever the steam that is going to be produced in the boiler, it consists of moisture, and that's why it is called as the wet steam, and is passed through the superheater where it is dried and superheated. So basically what is the role of superheater? Superheater will remove the moisture from the steam. Okay, and here it is going to be dried and superheated. Dried means what? We have removed the moisture. All of you have just written the dry fruits. Okay, so what is dry fruit? Dry fruit, when you are going to remove the moisture from that one, the fruit becomes the dry fruits. Okay, in the similar way, when I remove the heat from that say steam, that is a superheated steam or it is a dry steam, the steam temperature increases above that of the boiling point of water by few gases on their way to chimney. Superheating avoids too much condensation in the last stage of the turbine. Okay, so why superheating is required? Because when I'm going to do the superheating, it will remove the condensation, it will avoid the condensation. Condensation means what? When that steam is going to be cooled down, it will convert it into the water droplets. Okay, so if my steam is not going to be superheated, basically what happens, when it will makes an impact with the turbine blades, it will convert it into the moisture. Okay, it has the moisture and it will convert it into the water droplets, and that will cause the corrosion to the blades of my turbine, and the life of my turbine blades will reduces. So for that purpose I have to increase the temperature of the steam so that it does not easily get condensated, which will cause the blade corrosion. Okay, if it is going to be easily condensate, what it will do? It will cause the blade corrosion. The superheated stream from the superheater is fed to the steam turbine through the main valve. Okay, just we have discussed this steam which is coming from the boiler. Okay, boiler next to the superheater and superheater to the steam turbine. स्टीम टर्बाइन को जो स्टीम जाने वाली है उसको कैसे कंट्रोल करते हैं? वी आर गोइंग टू कंट्रोल विद द हेल्प ऑफ द मेन वॉल. Then second one is the economizer. So economizer is essentially a feed water heater and derives heat from the few gases. For this purpose, the feed water is fed to the economizer before supplying to the boiler. So basically जो पानी लगने वाला है, okay, so that feed water which is required into the boiler for converting that water into the steam, or what converting that water into the superheated steam, that we can take it from the nearby river or nearby pond. So basically if you are going to observe that most of the thermal power plants are situated near the rivers. Now why? Because this thermal power plant require a large quantity of the water for their operation purpose, and say this water can be supplied with the help of river, okay, or large lakes or large ponds over there, and derives heat of the few gases for this purpose. The feed water is fed to the economizer before supplying to the water. We cannot directly supply the feed water to the boiler. Before going to the boiler, it will pass through the economizer so that the temperature of the water go on increasing. The economizer extract the part of the heat of the few gases and increase the temperature of the feed water system. Then third क्या है? The air preheater. The air preheater increases the temperature of the air supplied for the coal burning. So basically, if I want to burn the coal, I require oxygen. Okay, and I required air, and if my air consists of the moisture, then the burning is not proper. So for that purpose, what you are going to do, we require to remove the moisture from the air, and that can be done inside the air preheater. Air is drawn from the atmosphere by the forced draft fan and is passed through air preheater before supplying to the boiler furnace. Okay. Then next, so steam turbine. So basically, if you are going to see how the turbine looks like, this is the turbine. Okay, so turbine has such type of blades. Okay, so if you are going to observe, these are the blades of the turbine. This is the 3-stage turbine. actually. So basically we are going to see that the size of the blades are go on reducing. Only we are going to concentrate that turbines have such type of blades, and through this that steam is going to be just released. Okay, whatever the steam I am going to say get from the superheater, this will pass through such type of pipe. This pipe will carry the steam. Okay, and this steam is going to be released over here, and as the steam is going to be released over here, these blades of the turbine may get an impact. Tangential force will applied at the blades of the turbine because of the steams. Okay, I think all of you are familiar with this one in your childhood. Okay, जब आप छोटे बच्चे थे एट दैट टाइम आपने जब त्यौहार वगैरह रहता था, मेला रखता था, तो उस टाइम पे क्या करते थे हम लोग. सो वी आर गेटिंग सच टाइप ऑफ थिंग्स ओवर हियर. से पेपर का एक ऐसी लकड़ी रहती थी, उस लकड़ी को एक such type of things are there, and when the air make an impact with that, it will start rotating. So when the air will make an impact with this one, a tangential impact, it causes the force to act over here, and that force causes the movement of this one. Okay, in the same manner this will work over here. So the steam is going to be released over there, and the blades are arranged in such a fashion that they will make an impact with this one. A force is exerted over there, and that causes the blade to turn down, and that continuous turning of the blade causes the rotation over here. So the steam turbine, the dry and superheated steam from the superheater is fed to the steam turbine through the main valves. Okay, so this is the pipe through which I am going to, and this steam can be controlled with the help of valve. Just like in your bathroom we have the tap, and with the help of tap we can control the flow of water which is going to pass through the tap. Okay, the heat energy of the steam when passing over the blades of the turbine is converted into mechanical energy. So when the heat energy, so what the steam has heat energy. Okay, with this steam what it causes the rotation of the blades, and rotation is my mechanical energy. So the steam energy, the heat energy of the steam passing over the blades is converted into mechanical energy. So inside the steam turbine what is going to be takes place, energy conversion takes place. Okay, so energy conversion from heat energy to the mechanical energy is going to be takes place inside the turbine. After giving heat energy to the turbine, the steam is exhausted to the condenser which condenses the exhausted steam by means of cold water circulation. जब इसका काम हो जाता है, इस steam यहाँ पे अभी make an impact and then it is going to be released. Okay, so we are not going to release that steam into the atmosphere. We are going to collect it, and we are going to just further send it to the condenser where it is going to be condensated. Okay, and after condensation again we are going to feed it to the feed water system. Then there is alternator. This is basically an alternator. Okay, so ये जो दिखता है ये आपका पूरा सिस्टम है थर्मल पावर प्लांट का. Okay, so यहाँ पे जो है you can see these are the steam turbines, and to which this is basically alternator. If you are going to see this red color thing, so this is basically an alternator which will convert the mechanical energy into electrical energy. This alternator will converts, so energy conversion takes place inside the alternator into is that mechanical energy is converted into the electrical energy. The steam turbine is coupled to the alternator. Okay, so what the alternator will do, Nilesh, Rushikesh, Meeta, Mahesh, Sairaj, what the alternator will do?
Mechanical
energy converted into electrical energy.
Electrical energy.
So alternator will convert the mechanical energy into electrical energy. The steam turbine is coupled to the alternator. You can see over here, this is my steam turbine and this is coupled to the alternator. So how the coupling will take place? So these are basically mechanically coupled. The shaft, okay, shaft of the steam turbine is connected to the shaft of my alternator. Okay, so there is a mechanical coupling between these two. The alternator converts mechanical energy of turbine into electrical energy. The electrical output of alternator is delivered to the bus bar through transformer, circuit breaker and isolator. So once that electrical energy is generated, this electrical energy is collected and this is given to the bus bar. So basically what is bus bar? So bus bar is nothing but the copper plates. Okay, so to which I am giving this R phase, Y phase and B phase, and from that bus bar has single input and multiple output. Okay, so it may be a single input and multiple output through which I am going to connect these three, and then it is given to the transformer, step up. Basically at the thermal power plant or at any power plants we can see which transformer at the power plant there is a step up transformer. Okay, power plant ला कुठला transformer असणार आहे? हर power plant में step up transformer रहता है which will increases the voltage level. Okay, now why the voltage level is increases, that we are going to discuss. So basically, if I am going to just generate the electricity, there are certain constraint. Because of this, I cannot generate the electricity at very high level, okay, very high voltage. So basically, the electrical energy generated at the power plant may be 1.1 kV to 11 kV, okay, or at normally we are going to generate the energy at 11 kV. And if you are going to transfer and the size of that power plant may be 100 megawatt or like this one. So if I am going to transfer the energy which is generated at 11 kV to the grid, then what is going to be takes place, there are so much I square R losses, okay. And if you are going to generate at 100 megawatt, so it is 100 into 10 to the power 6, mega means 10 to the power 6 divided by 11,000, okay. So what is the amount of my current over here? If you are going to assume the amount of current over here, this current is nearly in the range of thousands of ampere. So it is, okay, 1 lakh divided by 11, and when you are going to just convert that into this one, so you are getting the current in the range of, say, nearly in the range of 9,000 ampere of current you are going to just get it. And with this, I square R losses are very tremendously high. So what you are going to do, we are going to just reduce this one by increasing the voltage. Instead of transferring the power at 11 kV, we are going to transfer the power at 400 kV, okay, or we are going to transfer the power at 220 kV or such time. So basically what happened, when I am going to transfer the power with this high voltage, what is the effect of this one, that we are going to just see. Okay, so instead of this one, if I am going to increase the voltage, 400 kV means 10 to the power 3, and this is 100 into 10 to the power 6, okay. So this is going to be like this one, so it is 1 lakh divided by 400, okay. So these two, this is 1000 divided by 4, so it is 250, so it is 250 ampere. So my current will drastically reduces from 9000 ampere to 250 ampere, okay. So that's why your losses are also going to be reduces. I square R losses which are going to be takes place inside the systems, that are also going to be reduces. That's why we are going to use the, say, transformer, and these transformers are called as step up transformer. Then circuit breaker. These circuit breakers are used to disconnect the supply in case of certain emergency purpose, okay. So these circuit breakers are nothing but just like a switches. Just like in your home you are going to use the switches button. आपल्या घरामध्ये जैसे अपन switches यूज़ करते हो, अपने घर में जैसे हम लोग switch यूज़ करते हैं फैन को कंट्रोल करने के लिए, लाइट को कंट्रोल करने के लिए, वैसे ही अगर हेवी इलेक्ट्रिकल अप्लायंसेस रहते हैं, तो उस हेवी इलेक्ट्रिकल अप्लायंसेस को कंट्रोल करने के लिए वी कैनॉट यूज़ द सिंपल पुश बटन, वी हैव टू यूज़ द सर्किट ब्रेकर्स, okay. And then we are going to use the isolator to completely disconnect that circuit from the system. So that is as the isolators. Then turbo generators are these generators driven by the steam turbines. These generators are run at a very high speed of 1500 rpm or above. So normally the generator will rotate at 1500 to 3000 rpm. Then feed water system. So basically हमें जो power plant के लिए, boiler के लिए जो पानी लगने वाला है, वो पानी जो supply करते हैं, that system is called as the feed water system. The condensed water from the condenser is used as a feed water to the boiler, okay. So the condensed water from the condenser, जो steam बाहर निकली थी टरबाइन से, उस steam को हमने क्या किया, कंडेंस किया. कंडेंस करने के बाद में वो steam का क्या बन गया है, पानी बना है. So उसको फिर से boiler में देने के लिए हम feed water system यूज़ करते हैं. And to make over, okay, we are taking the some extra water which is lost in the cycle made up of the external sources, that is from rivers, from river or anything. Okay. Okay. So from river we are going to get the additional water which is required to for the makeup. Okay. Makeup means what? It does not. Makeup means what? Whatever the quantity of the water which is required for this paper, all the quantity of the water cannot get from the say condensed stream. Okay, condensed water. So extra additional water is required, and which can be taken from the river. Basically what happened, this is very important, the feed water is a demineralized water, okay. It is a demineralized water, and the cost for this demineralization is maybe up to 8 rupees per liter, okay. So whatever the water which you are going to give inside the thermal power plant boiler, that is a demineralized water, we are going to remove all the minerals from the water, so that this is a pure chemistry water. This is simply H2O. Okay, and because of this, what happened, the chances of corrosion and all these things are going to be reduces. And for this purpose, the processing cost is as a up to 6 to 8 rupees per liter. Okay, so this cost may vary from location to location, depending on the say what is the say soil and all these things, and what type of water is available at your location. So it is roughly between 6 to 8 rupees per liter, the processing cost of the water. The feed water on its way to the boiler is heated by water heaters and economizer. Okay, then cooling arrangement. I think all of you have seen such type of cooling tower. Have you seen such type of cooling tower?
Yes, sir.
Where you have seen such type of tower? Chimney is different thing. Okay,
Near to factory.
chimney is different thing. Say here, this is my chimney. Okay, so this is my chimney, and these three are called as cooling tower. Okay, chimney is different thing. Through the chimney, if you are going to observe that the height of chimney is much more than the height of your cooling tower. Okay, chimney ची height आहे ना cooling tower पेक्षा खूप जास्त आहे. Okay, the cooling tower is different thing. Okay, so such type of cooling tower you can observe at the thermal power plant, nuclear power plant. If you are going to observe the videos, you can see that. Or if you are going to just go through the Nasik near Eklehre, you can see such type of cooling tower. Okay, then this cooling arrangement, in order to improve the efficiency of the plant, the steam exhausted from the turbine is condensed by means of condenser. Okay, so why we are going to use this one? So to improve the efficiency of the plant, the steam exhausted from the turbine is condensed by means of condenser. Water is drawn from the natural source of supply such as river, canal, lake, and is circulated through the condenser. The circulating water takes up the heat of exhausted steam and it itself become hot. This hot water coming out of condenser is discharged into the river. Cooling tower. In case the unavailability of water from the source throughout the year, cooling towers are used. Basically in Maharashtra, what you are going to face, we are going to face a lot of water shortage. Okay, so we have already scarcity of the waters, and because of that we need to reuse the water. Okay, so reuse of the water is possible with the help of cooling tower. During the scarcity of the water in the river, hot water from the condenser is passed through the cooling tower where it is cooled. The cold water from the cooling tower is reused in the condenser. Okay, then next one is the last one is your ash handling plant. So after burning of the coal, when the coal is burned in the boiler, the ash produced after complete combustion of the coal and is removed to the ash handling plant and then delivered to the ash storage plant for the disposal. Okay, जैसे होता क्या है, जैसे हम लोग कोल बर्न करते हैं, तो कोल बर्न करने के बाद में क्या होने वाला है, सो दैट कोल इज गोइंग टू बी कन्वर्टेड इनटू द ऐश. अगर आप घर पे भी देखते हैं, जब आप चूल्हा वगैरह चलाते हैं उस टाइम पे लकड़ी बर्न होने के बाद में क्या हो जाता है कि उस पर ऐश आ जाती है. इफ़ यू आर नॉट गोइंग टू रिमूव दैट ऐश, ओके, so what happened, the complete combustion or the other say wood does not burn properly, so we need to remove that ash time to time. Okay, and once you are going to remove that ash, we need to just throw it away somewhere. So basically what happened inside my coal power plant, as I am going to burn the thousands of tons of coal per day, the quantity of the ash which is generated is also hundreds of quintals per day or hundreds of tons per day. So I need to continuously remove that ash and then I have to just dispose it. So the removal of ash from the boiler furnace is necessary for the proper burning of coal. Okay, so if I am not going to remove the ash from the my boiler, my combustion does not take place. Okay, क्यों, क्या होने वाला है इस केस में, जैसे आप ये बॉयलर है उसमें आप कोयला डाल रहे हो, बर्न हो रहा है, कोयला बर्न होने के बाद में उसमें ऐश प्रोड्यूस होने वाली है. ओके, जैसे जो ऐश प्रोड्यूस हो जाती है तो क्या होगा, दैट विल कवर द कोल. ओके, जैसे ऐश प्रोड्यूस हो जाएगी ना, वो क्या करेगी, उस कोल को क्या कर लेगी, कवर कर लेगी. उसके बाद में आप अगर कोयला भी डालते हैं तो what is going to be do, it does not burn properly because it is already covered by the ash. So I need to remove this ash. So at the bottom of the boiler there is such type of plates. Okay, at the bottom of the boiler there is such type of thing. Okay, mesh is there. Okay, so after a particular time you are going to open this one and all the ash is going to be fall into the container, and this is going to be carried with the help of conveyor belt. So a 100 megawatt station operating 50% load factor burn 20,000 tons of coal per month. एक 100 मेगावाट का जो पावर प्लांट है उसके लिए हमें 20,000 टन कोल हर महीने लगता है. ओके, required 20,000 tons of coal per month. Okay, and the ash produced may be in terms of 20 to 15% of the coal fired. Okay, so हर महीने लगभग 2,000 से 3,000 टन ash प्रोड्यूस होती है वहाँ पे. So we need to do the proper disposal. Nowadays this ash can be used for making bricks and number of other purposes also. Okay, so this is the say belt conveyor, bottom ash beam. Okay, dewater ash. Then say we are going to this boiler furnace में से क्या है, वो नीचे ash collect करने वाले हैं. This ash is going to be carried with the help of what, conveyor system through this say checker crushers. Then we are going to build conveyor, then you are going to collect it into this one, and then we are going to just release it. Okay, so through this ash we are going to just pass the water also, so that this ash going to be the temperature of that ash going to be releases over here. So is it clear? Now is it audible?
Yes, sir.